It's a beautiful day today on the GC, isn't it? It's a lovely day. Why am I whispering though? Because my husband's doing night shift tonight, so we have to be very quiet so he can get some sleep. Just excuse the washing machine that's going off. My daughter's doing some washing, so, and I have to pause it because, oopsie doopsies, I need to soak this load because I've cut my toe, and I didn't realise I cut my toe because I can't feel my toe, and therefore, hang on, excuse me. Oh my God, Father, I tell you, oh Lordy, I can't edit that bit out because I don't want you to not see that bit. So, my husband's doing night shift tonight, and as a result, he is getting some, doing some of his master's degree, so he can mellow down. Don't ask me how that's mellow downing, but so he can slow down. So, and yes, you've noticed correctly, today is a different day for me. It's, I'm feeling a lot better. I'm just taking some recyclables out to the recycling bin. So excuse me while I look over the rubbish to see you. Oh, I might sit on the front for a little bit because it's nice and warm out there. And I won't distract my husband then from his studies and sleep. Oh God, spider web. Oh, we have been eating too much takeaway lately. Too much takeaway. But we do that because I've been unwell, can't cook. I usually cook things in a crock pot, but I haven't been able to do that lately because I've been too unwell. But hopefully that will change soon. I'm trying to find her collar, which I think I've lost. So I'll put this one on her. Just bear with me for a sec. Come here, put this on. Stay there. You come out the front, we'll sit in the sun, okay? Yes. Okay, come on, let's go at the front. No barking though. Yes, shh, shh, hey, hey. Hey, up on the chair, hey, hey, hey. Here, chair. Oh, if she runs off, I can't catch her. Bambi, here, here, up, up, up. Stay, stay. Stay there, stay there. I can't catch her if she runs away quite clearly because I'm not fucking fast enough. But it's not just that little fact, it's the fact that I can't run full stop. So just bear with me again. Just putting her thing on so she can get down and walk around. Okay, let me get... Oh, hang on. God, she's like a ravishing dog. But all good, I've got her now on here, so I'm gonna sit in the sun for a little bit. And I have to get used to people getting used to me with talking to a phone. So, well, he doesn't actually look half bad out in the sun. It's got quite some healthy colour, healthy curl bounce. So, where was I? So yeah, hubby's doing night shift tonight, so he does 2 day shifts, 2 night shifts. But they alternate, so there's no specific days where he does 4 days on, 4 days off. They change all the time, so which is good. But we are so overjoyed that hubby has got a job now because it helps out dramatically. He has struggled. We were just having this conversation. He has struggled for years and years and years, and unfortunately the stress has got the better of him and he's aged a bit more. But he doesn't actually look the age he is, if you get what I'm saying. So, yes, so as I said, and I inserted some photos of the GC. So this is out the front of my yard, and I don't care if anyone sees it. That's the car I bought him for Christmas. Yeah, it's a good looking car, eh? It's a small SUV, as I found out after I purchased the car. I purchased it from Robina, the Hyundai dealership. But the problem is, I was told it was a medium SVU at the sale time. Unfortunately, it's a small SVU, so it's very difficult for me to drive. The reason why I got it was because my husband's a big bloke. You probably saw him in my couple of last videos. He's a large bloke and he needs a leg room. So, fortunately, it's a small SUV. It's okay for him. He does fit in it, but there is still the length, length of his legs and things like that to be taken into consideration. So occasionally he will take my car, which is not that one there. It's usually parked in that driveway. Do you like our tree? We have had that since, and it's been in that same pot for 14 years. Long time. So yeah, Bambi's just enjoying the sun out in the front yard. I strap her to the leash for obvious reasons. If she runs off, I can catch her because she's tied to my arm. But yeah, it's a beautiful day on the GC. We've had discussion after discussion about our home loan that's pending, it's coming up. We will be purchasing our house and so excited to do so. And with my husband's new job, he can now actually make the repayments and it's great. But there's a lot of bills that we need to air out before we actually move in, because I feel that we're keeping some of the money, but I don't think it's enough money, because my husband may not be able to help me out as much as he thinks he can, and he's not realising, and it's going to cause a lot of stress again, like it has over the years. Money is the root of all evils. It truly is. And I want to make sure that we have enough in our savings account. It's co-signed, so neither of us can just jump into it and go spend $1,000 just like that. And we used to do that. Both of us used to do it in the past. We have come across $60,000 to $80,000 in the past, and it's lasted us less than 3 to 4 months. I can remember giving birth to my son, and $52,000 went down to like zero amount. Although I do believe one of his mates called Tino ripped him off blind when my husband was blind, unfortunately. Never forget that man. Beat his wife to a pulp. No teeth. I'll just air that word out there. But because she was a bleep, she ripped us off too. I walked into her and Tino one time arguing over $200, which was, I realised later on, was the $200 that was in my mother's purse that was hanging on a door, because my mother thought she could trust family. Quite clearly she couldn't trust these two. They used to rip us off. And I didn't realise how much he ripped us off until later on down the track, when I noticed that my husband was drinking and trusted Tino, and he'd go down the road to get some more grog with Alex's card, with my money that we got through a retrenchment that were meant to be our savings. That's why it just went out the window like that. So we're both very bad at saving money. So as a result of that, we've both co-signed. So unless we both go into the branch, we can't just take a withdrawal slip that's signed. We have to go into the branch to sign the slip of paper in front of staff. Then no money can come out of the account, and that's how it's going to stay. And then obviously later on down the track, when my husband gets his dream job, he's studying for his masters in counter-terrorism, so when he lands his dream job, we can put the rest of that money on the mortgage. So there you go. But in the interim between here and the new house, I don't want to have any problems with where we're going to come up with the money for the water bill, or the land rates, or the Foxtel, or the NBN, or this or that or this. So hopefully I've drawn his attention to these needs, and hopefully he'll realise that we probably need to save a bit more money, or put a bit more money away into our savings, so that if on a rainy day we need to cover an extra bill or whatever, we can do it. See how he goes, but I don't think I'll be signing any mortgage unless that's done. So, you know, it's difficult. Our relationship over the years has been on and off, on and off, on and off, and I think we've struggled to really work things out ourselves. And over the years I've had counselling, and over the years the counsellors have said, you know, he's a toxic person, why you're with him. But in reality, I do the same thing as he does to me, so that means I'm just as toxic to him. So, you know, does that mean that we're both perfect for each other? Who knows? But yeah, it's been very difficult over the years for both of us, and I have to stop and think about what I'm saying, because my kids have brought up great points in relation to how I say things. It can sometimes be taken as something else, for example, something bad, like you're, contradicting what they're saying, or you're putting that person down. Now, my husband has mentioned that I do the same thing. So if 3 people are saying it, I must be doing something wrong. So I have to rethink my ways, because I got back with my husband this time because it's going to work. There's no question about it. I had friends, you know, and not friends for benefits, that's for sure. I had friends while I was separated with my husband on other occasions. That's what it was though, friends. It didn't go above or beyond that. And they weren't as good as my husband. And by hearing me even say that makes me ponder about, well, obviously no one can better him, so why are you not with him? I guess ultimately that's why I got back with him, because no one else could really be what I feel my husband could give me. So, and I do praise God for that, because he does want us to work things out. I want us to work out. My husband wants us to work out. Other people might not want us to work out, but it's not their relationship. It's my relationship with my husband. So, and we do have an 11-year-old. So I think we have a responsibility to the 11-year-old to make sure that we teach him. You're married. It's not an easy life. You shouldn't be running at the first stage of a difficult moment. You need to sit down. You need to communicate. You need to accept that the marriage changes, that each other change during the marriage. And I've learnt this through communicating with a counsellor over the years. I've been married for almost 25 years, if not 25 years. So I've learnt through counselling sessions that you need to adapt to people changing and to the marriage changing over time. People change and marriage is going to change, obviously. So you need to adapt to these things. And I struggle with how to communicate and how to adapt, but at least we're working together on it. That's the one positive thing. So I'll stop looking at the colour of my hair, and I really like it actually. I was thinking of making it a bit deeper, the burgundy a bit deeper, but no, I truly love the colour. I think it does me justice. Look, Bambi's still sitting there pondering at the world, aren't you, Bams? Hey, Bambi? Bambi? Hi. Hey, Bambi. Someone's ignoring her, Nana. Are you liking the sun? You liking the front yard? So am I. My brother-in-law, when my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law came over for the Commonwealth Games this year, he used to sit out the front here and sit in the sun just to enjoy a bit of sun and get a bit of sunlight, rays and vitamin D in his life. And, you know, he's done that for years, and it's no wonder he's the perky... Sammy is perky, he's vibrant, he's happy all the time. And I think that's because he gets a ray of sunlight in his life every day, no matter what. So, but yeah. Ruta is a worry though. Ruta is a worry. She worries me a lot, and I think she worries about herself too with her condition. So I think she worries that one day she's not going to be there for kids, but in reality I'm not going to be there for my children in the end. And that's why, look, they've got like 9 or 11 kids. not sure how many they've got now. I'm not sure how many nieces and nephews I've got through them, but the great thing is they are going to survive without them, and they are going to join hands together, and they're going to miss their parents eventually when they're gone. My kids will miss me eventually when I'm gone, and their father as well. But they're going to have each other, which is the positive thing. I've got to stop looking at my eyes in this thing. I've got to look at the lens. Now I know why Casey Neistat wears glasses, sunglasses, because I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking at myself instead of the actual lens. So I might try his method. While I'm at it though, if you do want to support my channel, don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, ding dong the bell. And if you ding dong the bell, I'll send you a notification whenever I upload, okay? Because you are the important one. Your inbox is the important thing. And I'll send you a notification. Ding dong, you've got mail. It's Queenslander girl calling. Well, I've spoken for 16 minutes so far. I just love the sky today. It's so crystal and blue and clear, and it just goes for kilometres and kilometres. Plenty of palm trees in our unit too. I hate those things just there because they bring the bats around at night time. It's like a palm sugar. I think that's how they make palm sugar, from those bloody seed pods. But it is a beautiful day here today, and for the first time in a long time I've ranted, and while I'm ranting it takes my mind off my pain. So my pain levels have definitely skyrocketed in the last couple of weeks, three to 4 weeks maybe. And I'm gravely concerned. However, not this week, but the following week, I'm going for an MRI. So finally, I get to find out whether something's gotten worse with my condition or whether it is just the nerves remembering the pain. That's what the pain clinic tell you. They teach you that effectively you may not have a problem, or you have had a problem in the past where your nerves have actually said to your brain, there's pain, there's something wrong here, because that's why your body does tell your brain you've got pain, so it can recognise that there is a problem. But that problem may fix itself, and in the long run the nerves may continue to remember that type of pain. I don't think that's the case in my situation, although it doesn't mean it won't be the case in my future situation. So next week I will, well, maybe not next week, I have the MRI then, but I probably won't find out then. It'll probably take a few weeks for them to read the results. So yes, my doctor's coming out to visit on Friday. I can't get to the doctors anymore. It's a struggle even picking my son up from school. It's just, yeah, it's a hassle. So not a hassle, but it's painful. And I have to do it today, unfortunately, and I'm already weary of it. I don't know, but anyway. So yes, what else can we talk about? I don't think there's much more to say, to be honest. Oh, I was talking about my pain. So my pain levels are at the moment around about an 8 or a 9. But I'm trying to do what my friend did for me when she was here visiting. I'm trying to talk and take my mind off the pain. And if I talk to you guys, it's taking my mind off the pain. However, it's still in the background and it's still very sore. My anxiety levels are so high at the moment. I really have to double think what I'm saying, what I'm doing. See, I take my mind away from the talking and the ranting, and my pain gets worse. No, it is worse anyway. It's an 8 or 9, and it actually is probably a 7 or an 8 in bed. So it is definitely getting worse. Something's going on in my back, and it needs to be attended to, unfortunately. So, but on the 26th of September, I'm having my ketamine infusion, or my appointment to discuss the ketamine infusion. And the first week in September, I'm having the bariatric surgery, so I'm overwhelmed. I've decided to go for the bypass. The difference with the bypass and the sleeve is they cut 2/3 or 80% of your stomach out. That's the sleeve. Then, on me, they do the bypass as well. So then they cut out the top part of the intestines. They reconnect the new stomach to the middle part of your intestines. So it means that your intestines need to be long enough, otherwise they won't be able to reach the new part of the stomach. There are some issues with that, for example, dumping, which means that you can eat stuff, it'll go straight through, you'll get diarrhea, you'll vomit. But you know what? I'm okay with the risks. I'm okay because the risks do not outweigh the pros. I'm going to possibly, after a year, come off all my diabetic medication. My blood pressure won't be an issue, although it never was. I was only on blood pressure medication to protect the kidneys because of my diabetes. My cholesterol, although it's come down, I'll be able to live possibly without my cholesterol medication. See, when you have this sleeve done, the sleeve bypass done, your body uses and it depletes all your body's fat. So in the end, you've got no more fat, which means it just drops off you. It does mean that I will need to live on vitamins for the rest of my life. I'll need to live on vitamin D and caltrate for the rest of my life as well. So calcium and vitamin D to absorb the calcium because of osteoarthritis and blah, 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 because I won't be able to get all the natural intake of calcium and vitamin D and all that through my foods anymore because, you guessed it, I'll be eating next to nothing every time I eat a meal. So for the first 3 months, you sort of don't really eat. You eat like blended food, but you also eat soft food like soft vegetables, things like that. So just having a gaze around the neighbourhood to find out what's going on. Not much happens here during the day anyway. And hopefully, after I have this operation, guess what? I'll be able to take you with me for walks to the park with Bambi. I'll be able to take you with me on a bike with my son. You know, I'll be able to do all this stuff with you as well as my family. So I'm really over the moon about this, and I'm so excited about all the pros. Yes, as I said, there are cons, but they don't overweigh the pros to the extent where I'm worried about having the operation and it failing and blah, blah, blah. There's always risk to any major surgery, and this is classified as a major event, even though it's keyhole. So there you go. So, and I have discussed with Anthony Cheng, Dr. Anthony Cheng, my bariatric surgeon, and he doesn't really want us to record his face. We are happy to leave it on record and record his voice and then distort it later on. And I'm happy to do that too because I do have the software on my phone to do that with. So yes. So what else is there to talk about? Bariatric surgery, I think I've discussed that. But look, if you guys have got any questions, put them down in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to try and answer them. There's really not a lot on the web. Not a lot on YouTube about persistent or chronic pain. Not that's recent anyway, which is why I got on here and which is why I wanted to make my story prevalent. I wanted you to find out, I wanted to tell you guys about my persistent chronic pain, my depression, anxiety, and my bariatric surgery, my weight loss sort of story. And there is a lot on YouTube about bariatric surgery. There's a great deal actually. And it's recent. But I do want to tell my story also about that. So along with my persistent pain, or chronic pain as I used to call it, depression, anxiety, I do want to tell you about my bariatric surgery as well. So yeah, but I'll do the best I can. Dr. Chen doesn't really want to be filmed, but he's happy to be recorded voice-wise. I went for a drive to the QE2 Jubilee Hospital, which is at Cooper's Plains, and it's very old and very small. It's very much like Grafton Base Hospital. It's probably the same size, to be honest with you. It's a hospital where you can walk into, you've got your cafeteria and all that little cafeteria, mind you, that staff can only sit in, and then a couple of tables outside a little cafe. You can't actually walk up to the floors or anything like that. You know, you can't do it because they're wards. It's a very small hospital, so I don't know exactly how many beds are available, but something else I just remembered. I am getting a referral done for Snore Australia. Sleep Australia, sorry, and I have to have a sleep study done. I snore in the middle of the night, so I'm going to probably have to go and for 2 weeks prior to the surgery have a CPAP machine on me to help me push the oxygen into my blood to oxygenate. Oh my God, my talk about brain fog today. Lyric is at it again. So what I was trying to say though is to oxygenate, put oxygen into my blood prior to the surgery, because when you snore it can mean that your body's not getting enough oxygen into your blood, to your red blood cells. So, and I think it's going to come back as that, because I do snore, and I do notice that with my rapid increase of weight gain, because I'm only in bed 24/7, I'm not actually exercising, I'm putting on weight, so I'm snoring, and I wake myself up snoring as well, so I know that I'm snoring, but I also know that because I'm in pain. I don't sleep well because I'm in pain. I think that's why I'm so high anxiety-wise today, because, well, to be truthful, the last few nights I've tossed and turned in bed. I've hardly slept. It just seems like yesterday I had a rest in bed, and though today I'm therefore, oh look, my nightie says love. Yes, I'm in my nightie. Brain fog. I've got to keep concentrating. All right, so ultimately I have to have a sleep study done either overnight or I bring one home. So my doctor's doing a referral for that, and that's through Sleep Australia. And that's because they need to ascertain whether I may need to go on some sort of CPAP machine 2 to 3 weeks prior to surgery to really get that oxygen into my blood. Yeah, so because it is important. And if that is the case also, then I'll need to go to ICU for the night, because there is a risk that, well, there's a lot of risks really, but I'm willing to take those risks. Talking about the ICU, I've been watching this show on YouTube actually, and it's about ICU care in the America and the UK, and it tells stories about people who actually go into the ICU, and some people don't come out, they come out dead. Some people recover, they go back in, and then they get better again, they come back out, or they last months and months and months and months in ICU, but they get better. So it sort of scares me in a way, because one particular lady, she was having troubles with her bowels or something or other, and they started leaking. So she went to the hospital and they didn't catch it in time, and as a result the toxins from the bowels sent her loopy. Because when toxins get into your bloodstream, they can make you experience delirium, so you might see cockroaches or spiders, or you know, people might be talking to you. Or my mother actually experienced it because, well, she needed renal dialysis, so that's how she experienced it. But anyway, so I ended up crying through, really bawling my eyes out too in certain parts of it, because so intense it was. Because I felt sorry for families that were feeling these, their family members were there in hospital and they was very, very sick. And you know, I can only pray to God that doesn't happen to me, because the moral of this story is basically this lady had minute problems, but it turned into a major one within seconds because her bowel was leaking. It sent toxins into her bloodstream, so she had to go to ICU. And at one stage they were saying that if her delirium doesn't get better by, say, 2 or 3 days' time, it may mean that it's too late for her. She may not survive. But in fact, she was like that for weeks and weeks. And then all of a sudden it came back into the story came back into the ICU and was drawn back onto her, and she was fine. She was sitting up in a chair and her husband was feeding her food, and she was going blah, 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 spewing it back up because it tasted like shite. So for you people that don't know what the word shite is, it tastes like crap. So yes, but she survived. She walked out of that hospital again, even though it was a few months later, she walked out. So I guess in a way, it scares me because I could be that person. If something goes wrong in the surgery, then I could be put in ICU, and my worst fear is, which is why I have to get a will done prior to the surgery, is if my body does shut down and my brain's dead, I don't want to be a vegetable. I don't want to live on. I mean, I've told my husband this anyway, but my fear is, I guess, is getting really sick, but getting really better at the same time as well. And the staff don't listen, and they overlook things that my family would only know, and as a turn, they turn off my machine and I die. I mean, as it was, when I first went to see my mother when she had the first accident, they had a machine breathing for her, and because my daughter and myself knew my mother, they were telling us that she was shutting down, told us that she was dying. And I got in there, she squeezed my hand, she was responding, she was talking, even though she had a tube down her throat. So the ICU specialist said, wow, we hadn't had this reaction from Kathleen before, rest her soul. And okay, we're going to take this opportunity to take her into surgery. We're not going to give her a hip replacement. We're just going to repair her hip. It took about an hour to 2 hours. She was lucky to survive the operation, because if you're a renal patient, you usually don't. Your body just shuts down. But she did survive, and she made it out of ICU and made it out of hospital. Only to a year later had a fall into a washing basket, and as a result broke that hip, and therefore ended up back in the ICU, ended up into a high care nursing facility, and ended up in a wheelchair, unable to walk. So yeah, I don't want to be one of these people that unfortunately can't be read by staff. And it's not the staff's fault, because they don't know the person. They have to rely on family for these things. Just listening to the birds chirping as they fly overhead. It's so peaceful, so surreal. Such a lovely day. And guess what? Bambi is still sitting in the same spot. Hey, you liking it out here? You do like it out the front, don't you? You do, you love it out the front, don't you? Or am I misreading her? I hope she likes it out here. Her receptors in her nose are like going full on. I can see them going, moving. She can smell, obviously. The front of my house, my front door. It's 2-story. I hate it. Our next house is going to be single story, 4 bedrooms with a pool and a backyard for her to run in. Yay! She's so excited about that. Aren't you? You're so excited about the house we're going to move into, aren't you? Yes, you are. What a lovely car that is too. Beautiful car. That was a Christmas present to my husband. It was worth $42,000. But the good salesperson I am, I got it for 20. So, and we got tinted windows, car mats as well. So it's the Kona, by the way, the Kona, and it's the Highlander, which is the highest in its range. You know, the stupid thing is though, how stupid is this, right? It's the highest in the range. It's got all the mod cons, except for one thing, which is what I wanted for my husband, and I said, or I thought that he would have gotten, is this pop-up little speedometer, and it pops up, and while you're driving, you don't have to look down at the actual round things in the car, like the front of the dash. You can actually look at this little screen that pops up, and it has the kilometres and all that on it. The top of the range, and it doesn't come with it. It was a special apparently for the Active, which is medium range car. So it had, for example, it had the power windows, this little pop-up speedometer thing, and mag wheels. That's it. But this one has everything except that one bloody pop-up screen. So I was very disappointed. And as a matter of fact, when we get it serviced, I don't service it at the Robina store anymore. I only get it serviced at the Southport store. I'd rather give them the money than hand it to Robina anymore, because the guy that sold it to me made no effort at all to get what I wanted in the car. He was a slack ass, and I should have gone to Southport to buy the car. I should have gone. But it'll never happen again, because I'll never buy another brand new car again. So unless I win the lottery, of course, well, then I'll probably buy a bloody Range Rover. No, I'd buy a nicer car though, and a bigger car, that's for sure, and a few houses as well. But yeah, so like he told us things that I'm sure he told me it included the pop-up screen, and I'm sure he also told me it was a medium SUV, but as it turns out, it advertised on TV as a, pardon me, small SUV. So I'm going to try these glasses things the next time I vlog, because Casey Neistat, you've got a good point there, that's for sure. All right, so it's been 35, almost 36 minutes since I started this rant. I'm going aside, I'm going to lie down, because as much as I love Bambi to get out and about, I just can't. This is the most I can do for her at the moment. So I have to go and lie down. She's been to the toilet, blah, blah, blah. So it's time to go inside now. Bams, it's time to go inside now. Yep, come on. Oh, dear Nana. Oh, look at that. She knew exactly what I was talking about. And I think she's actually happy to go inside, aren't you? Yes, you are. How about we take this off first? Come up here. Up on the chair. Up, up, up. Good girl. This is such a good girl. She's a good girl for her Nana, aren't you? You're a good girl for your Nana, aren't you, hey? How's a good girl? The baby's a good girl. Yes, she's a good girl. All right, we take this off too. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Yeah, we take this off too. I love these things. Justine actually uses them with her dog, and I just love it to bits. They're great. They're a perfect little sort of thing for the dog to put on. Now I have to find a band-aid to put on my toe that I cut, and that's why I lost that toe, because I've a little sore like that. I've got a little sore like that. Don't even know whether I've shown you it. I got a little sore like that on my other toe, and eventually it just festered and I got a staph infection in it, and in the end it was taken off. All right, so guys, girls, that's where it ends. I'm ending this vlog now. I'm going to find myself a Band-Aid and go back to bed, because my back is absolutely culling me. It's culling me to the extent where I don't think I'm going to be able to go pick up my son this afternoon from school. That's for sure. Love you guys. Take care. Don't forget, you come first and then everyone else. Love you all. Take care, and I will speak to you all again soon.